Welcome to Dinghy Cruising Kingfisher. In this episode, we fool around with some self-steering gear. We camp in some fantastic locations, and of course, we go sailing. Enjoy. Hi everyone, I'm Josh and welcome to Dinghy Cruising Kingfisher. We're out on Trim the Navigator today, and we've made a little trip up to Lake Macquarie, about an hour and a half north of Sydney. Done a couple of trips up here with Raid Sydney, but I've not yet had the chance to explore it on my own. So I've got 3 days. We have a beautiful blue sky forecast, light winds, but being winter and about 8 to 15 degrees Celsius, light winds is okay. So we're going to explore the nooks and crannies of Lake Macquarie. So, somewhere over there, Bruce Dyson Smith gave me a call. He's walking his dog, so we're going over to say hi. I've been here all of 10 minutes and been spotted. Well, that was lovely to catch up with Bruce, see his project that he's working on, a wonderful little heron with a cabin on it. I look forward to seeing that in a video later on. So we've launched down here at Summerland Point, and we're currently out here just crisscrossing. The wind's starting in this direction this morning, should die off later, but we intend to go up here. I want to go and have a look at this Goat Island while we've got the west. Up here is the Sand Islands, where Raid Sydney have camped a number of times. I want to have a little look at Wanji Point, and also want to travel up to this little place up here, Bonnell Point I think it's called, a bit hard to read on my map. And I also want to have a look around here at Rathmines, which is where there's a boat shed where they restore timber boats there, so it'd be good to catch up with those people. So we've got the workshop set up. We're still underway, but we're just ghosting along. So I thought I might do the first prototype of the sheet to tiller steering while we're underway. It can't hurt to muck around with it. I'm only doing like 1 knot. Now with all those little bits of line you always have lying around, just run a block off these cleats. There's another one on that side. So we have a line going from up to the boom. It crosses over to a block and back to clam cleats on the tiller and the opposing bungee. Now there are people that can explain that better, but we're going to have a play with it this weekend, see if we can get it to work. We're doing all of 1 knot. I'd say our journey northwards has abated. So I'm going to head over here to Wanji Point. So it looks like it's protected from the west and the northwest. And we might set up there for the afternoon. It's just so quiet, so peaceful out here. Well, with no wind, we've thrown the anchor down. Found a nice sunny spot on the northern edge of Wangi Point. So it's a little cove here. And it's beautiful, listening to the birds and soaking up the sun ahead of a cold night. We'll probably move to deeper water to anchor, but I'm going to soak this up right now. Look at this. It's fabulous. Well, good morning. Had a very rolly night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, but what could be considered swell come through, so I've been bouncing around like a cork for many hours. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning and the wind has kicked up from the northwest by the looks of it, so we're going to have a great day sailing. Just starting off with my recovery coffee and then we'll pack up and get going. What a mess. It's a bit fresher than I thought it would be today. We're over 10 knots. I haven't seen whitecaps yet, but fairly strong breeze and quite choppy. But I contacted my aunt last night. She lives up at Crowder's Bay. We're going to go and visit her and maybe take her sailing. Talk to you later. Just keeping an eye on my telltales there, and I've connected the sheet back through that fairlead, but I've kept coming through one of my little temporary blocks over to the windward side and back to my clamp, and as stated yesterday, just a bit of black bungee on the leeward side. So I'm just keeping an eye on whether that actually holds course, and yeah, needs a little adjustment, but it's not terrible. Yeah, a bit different today. Well, that was more hectic than expected. My 8 to 12 knot Saturday turned into a 15 plus. So I just crossed from Wangi Point to, I made it as far as Belmont for a bit of shelter. It's getting a bit hectic out there, and I had full sail up. Waves coming up over the front, spray at least. I'm absolutely drenched. I'm going to head over to Belmont for a cup of tea and a reconfigure my brain. Just stopped for a cup of tea near Cardiff Point. Had to pull into Belmont Bay. I was getting absolutely smashed out there, and I couldn't stop to put a reef in. So I've parked here in the lee of, I think it's called Cardiff Point, and just gonna have a cup of tea and collect my thoughts. So I have to try and get around the point to Awaba Bay. So that will be the next leg of the journey. So this is Awaba Point, where I spent last night. Made it all the way across here to Belmont, had a break there. The wind was quite stiff. It had to be more than 15 knots. There were waves breaking, some of them into the boat. Then I snuck around the corner to Awaba Bay, where I picked up my aunt and we did some sailing backwards and forwards. And then dropped her back, had a great time. And then now I've motored across here to I think it's called Awaba Bay up the top here, but I'm just down a little bit, and that's where we find ourselves tonight. And tonight on Cooking with Trim, we have our famous couscous and salami surprise. It's important that you are just trying to soften the carrot. Don't add any oil. The Hungarians have already covered that off for you. And when your couscous is all fluffed up, stir in that Hungarian goodness, and bon appetit. Good morning. Wasn't as cold last night and not as much condensation dripping everywhere, which was very nice. So we're just cooking up some breakfast, and then we're going to take the 15 knot northwesterly all the way home, some 20 kilometres away to Summerland Point. So that'll be a tailwind the whole way, I hope, and looking forward to a good day's sailing. We've got the full main up, but I put the jib away. It was just faffing about too much. We're actually surfing the chop. I don't know if you can see it behind me. It's up to about a foot, and it's enough for us to surf on. Very exciting stuff. Screaming along in a Navigator. John Welsford, I don't know if Navigator's playing, but I feel that today is the day. So I'm just trying a little handkerchief of jib to balance the boat a bit. Not that it was overly unbalanced. I'm just trying it out. Now I've got to come across the northern side of Full Bar Island, which means beating to windward, and it means getting wet. So back on with the valleys.
Here's the money shot. That's the one we want.
Well, thanks for making it all the way home with us. A special thank you to Bruce Dyson Smith for his hospitality and his photography. Check out his amazing voyages at the link below in the description. See you next time.